All right, covering a little bit about the NFT NYC event in New York, and of course we'll talk a little bit deeper also on one of the major events there in New York, and that is Solana and their drop of the Solana Saga phone. So we'll break all that down for you guys today. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back into Tech Path. Getting into the NFT market, you can look at it two ways. You can look at it, it's only for Moon Boys, or you can look at it and say, this may change the way everything is done. This is Times Square. I mean, the fact that we're seeing this kind of activity in the Big Apple, I think, is pretty impressive. And I think, you know, when you look at how effective things will be used in the future around NFTs, smart contracts, all of that, one thing is going to be awareness, and I think this is a good, you know, it's a good step in the right direction. If you were at NFT NYC, let us know. I'd love to know if, you know, what you thought of it. Drop some comments down below. Here's some additional tweets. This was a Steve Aoki concert. Lots of people. This, of course, was also involved by Sandbox. You got Steve Aoki right there in the corner doing a little bit. Then, of course, if you look inside, there you go right there. A little bit on terms of the size of the event and people, a lot of the digital art, and it being displayed out there. So not bad. I think, you know, overall continues to grow as an event, but more importantly, I think the audience and the attendees are continuing to grow. That tells me NFTs still moving in the right direction. It'll be interesting to see how things move forward here. Now we're going to get into the Solana phone drop and talk a little bit about what this might mean, not only to the future of mobile, but really to the future of crypto adoption. To me, this is the key thing. Mobile devices that become more integrated into crypto, I think, are going to be the killer app for integration into adoption. Here is Solana and Anatoly talking a little bit more about Saga. Listen in.
So I think since the founding of Bitcoin, since 2008, there's been this dream to get 1 billion people with self-custody using crypto. And the self-custody piece is really, really important because that's really the foundation of crypto, not your keys, not your coin. Like, you really actually have to have your private keys. And it's very challenging to do this. And there's a lot of skepticism for the entire space. Can we actually ever accomplish that? Can we ever get there?
Yep. All right, so getting to 1 billion users, I mean, that's a big and lofty goal, but it is a potential, especially in the mobile device era, when you think about 7 billion people on the planet going to 8, and the potential of these emerging markets. So mobile is real. We could see that kind of penetration in the marketplace. You also look at what's happened with Apple. Now, the other aspect that plays into this is security, and I think this is going to play out for a lot, and I'll talk about MetaMask and their breach as well. But I want to jump into what they were talking about in reference to security. Listen to this clip here.
Which keeps it highly secure, and without sacrificing any usability.
So I worked with a team that built this at Qualcomm. Like, I knew those guys. And this is a really cool feature because even your screen and your touch events on the device are totally separated from Android. So you can't take a screenshot of the seed wallet app. When you display your seed phrase on the screen, Android cannot see it. When you're typing it in, Android cannot capture the touch events. And this is something that makes this device as close to a hardware wallet as possible. And it's really, really cool and unique.
All right, close to hardware wallet as possible. This right now is bad news for Ledger. Now, granted, they don't have the massive run-up on Ledger. This is going to be a more expensive device than Ledger. But everybody has been asking for something that is integrated. And the hardware wallet component maybe is going to run its life. I think there will always be a use for Trezor Ledger style because sometimes you want those things away from you rather than carrying it in your pocket. But the fact that they're already working on integration of security that is going beyond the operating system of Android, that to me shows a lot of potential upside here for ultimate security from a mobile device. So lots happening here. I think Solana's definitely on the front here of what things might be. Further into what we're going to talk about is a little bit around the seed vault demo. Let me kind of play this one real quick for you guys because they get into the whole process here.
So this is where we need to pause for a quick second. I need to explain something. Like Toly just said, up until now, I've been showing you real screen captures from directly taken from real dApps running on Saga. But for this next critical moment, I'm actually going to have to show you a simulation because Seed Vault, we're going into Seed Vault, and I can't do a screen recording. That's not something that we can do. But your private keys are handled by Seed Vault away from Android in a secure environment. So when Phantom requests a signature, all it gets is a signature, never access to your keys. And all of that happens in a single tap inside of Seed Vault. It's that simple.
All right, so single tap, no access to keys. You're getting a signature, for the verification on the wallet side with Phantom. Again, all very positive moves, and I think this is one of the things that we have to overcome in terms of where security is going to be in the crypto space. If you're going to get to mass adoption, you have to have the security layer that trumps what we have in the current ecosystem of security for log in, log out. Think of Web 2, everything is kind of password, SSL. This, I think, takes it up maybe 10 or an order of magnitude level higher in terms of opportunity for even better security. You look at this right here, 7,000 MetaMask users now targeted in a security breach. This was all based on a support scenario that was playing out in MetaMask. And again, these are the kind of problems that when we get into software wallets, this is one of the reasons I'm not a big fan of software wallets. I have been hacked before with MetaMask, and it is a randomness around it. The difference that we've seen with hardware wallets is their security element. So the fact that the Saga phone could become part of maybe a hybrid element between hardware and software, I think is a great move going forward. I want to get into some other aspects here because they're talking a little bit more around how security will be around actual NFT transactions, all that kind of stuff. Listen in.
With Dialect, you can send and receive messages through DMs and group chats, just like you would in Web 2. But in Web 3 and with wallet-based messaging, we can create experiences that are not possible in Web 2, such as smart messages, NFT chat stickers, and more. We launched about a year ago, and as Josh said, we started as developer tools, and 2022 for us was this incredibly fun experience, getting to know and partner with and integrate messaging with a lot of the most talented and most exciting projects across the.
Okay, so Dialect now integrated in, again, his differentiation there between Web 2 and Web 3, very, very clear. And I think this is going to be another big tool in terms of messaging, especially because of the scenario that is playing out within the situation of privacy. A lot of people are starting to go off of traditional chat ecosystems because of the big tech companies that run them. And this could be everything from Messenger with Facebook or Meta, all the way into what we see even within DMs on Twitter. And then obviously text-based, including Apple and how they handle SMS. All of that is integrated now into Web 3. The fact that we're seeing much more security aspect, now Apple is very secure, don't get me wrong, Apple Pay has been able to really isolate, especially within the chat ecosystem of Apple with iMessage, to become a very effective tool here. The fact that this is moving toward Web 3 with security, some new features inside chat, also another big plus for where Solana is taking this, so good for them. Further into this is the one button smart message. Let me play, and I think they're going to show this as well.
So I'll give just one specific example that's live today. So our first unique insight into what really makes Web3 messaging different is what we call the smart message. Smart messages let you execute any smart contract right from the message. They're like link previews with buttons on them for one-tap, seamless transaction signing experiences.
All right, that right there is going to change everything in business. If this technology gets to mainstream, the way that it's going to be implemented for smart contract initiation with the security layers that are tied into this and the advantages of Web 3, you have a killer app here waiting to happen. There's two things that are going to happen here right now. I think either Saga and Solana this kind of technology is going to get eaten up by the big boys, including whether it's Android or Apple, Samsung, etc., or they're going to set a new tone in Web 3 for what this new mobile environment is going to look like. Biggest countries for growth in terms of mobile adoption are, in many cases, the emerging countries. This puts a big pinch on both Samsung and Apple because new phone sales are going to start to decline if you see a Web3 phone start to actually get market share in some of these challenged markets. And with all of that playing into it, and now you've got things like Dialect, this just kind of shows you a little bit here of how the messaging system works and what you're going to be able to do. Literally where you could actually bid on and buy or transact on the phone and within the messaging tool itself. Here's a good example of the stickers that he was mentioning. This is going to be a very interesting product, and I'm very, very intrigued on how all of this is going to play into the future of mobile. The other thing I want to get into is the other apps, because there's a few other tool sets that are going to be used within the Saga device. Here's some examples of what they had going here. Listen in.
Was one of the really big areas of focus. That's new developers developing net new experiences, like Floop, who has introduced a completely new way to interact with NFTs on your phone. Look at this. Doesn't this look like fun? Right, this is the type of mobile experience that we want to start seeing. And then there's D-Reader, which allows users to buy and trade and read comic books, NFT comic books, on the go, right on their Saga. Or, SolGuard is another fun one. I thought this was a lot of fun. It's something that's intuitively mobile. They're taking a novel approach to screen time monitoring, where you can set controls for yourself, and then if you want more time, you can pay up. So these are just a few examples of what teams are starting to build.
All right, so I'll break those down because each one of those has, I think, an impact on mobile society. The first one, when you look at Floop, first of all, the interface, as you saw there on the demo, this is very iOS-like in the sense of very elegant, very simplistic and minimalistic. And I think that's the other thing that we will start to see in Web3, especially in these Web3 dApps, is a new design nomenclature that will change up how we might even look at what mobile apps will do and function in the future. As far as the comic book reader, I mean, this is a scenario where I think, platforms like Vivi, which you can go in and consume your comic book, that might be a problem here if we start to see a lot of these kinds of devices, especially for collectors. So big deal. As far as screen time with SolGuard, to me, this is good, especially if we see this going into the kids and being able to, because imagine this on a device, because I mean, kids are most likely, especially when we get into Web3 gaming, now you're going to get into the capability of being able to control screen time and integrate some sort of payment or reward system. Brilliant idea. I'm surprised that we haven't seen this in Web 2 and 2.5. Furthermore, we're going to get into a little bit about what Helium did up there. This is a quick cut on that.
But they need a dApp store that allows dApps to build exactly what users want and not have to pay some of these extractive fees. So as Chris was just talking about, traditional dApp stores have had a very tenuous relationship with dApps. The rules limit basic crypto functionality, so teams are building limited dApps. The rules also aren't clear, so it's very hard for them to plan and to build effectively. And then there's the extractive fees. Web3 is all about ownership, like Anatoly was talking about earlier, and that's a big problem.
All right, so as you can see there, limitations going to be a big problem here if we don't see a big movement in this space. I'm still questioning whether or not Samsung makes a play into Web3 and does something either with Solana or others to be able to get going in this direction. Because a new app store that would really enhance the capability of these Web3 dApps is needed, and I think, as we all know, it's probably not going to happen with iOS and maybe even to a certain extent the Google Play Store. So a lot happening there that I think is a good one as well. This was the Helium guy talking a little bit more about how now you move out of the dApp store and into mobile devices.
Somewhat hit on the point is that everybody is really excited about the next generation wireless, and that next generation has been broadly believed to be 5G. So all the carriers have been promoting 5G for like a decade plus. And then when people ended up getting their first 5G phone and trying to use it, you learned that actually it's same as LTE, maybe slightly faster, and has like a 5G symbol. And the very problem with it is that creating faster network is not really about having a particular protocol, but it's about deploying a lot of coverage, because higher frequency bands, which is what in 5G gives you, faster speeds and better experience, don't go for walls, don't go for trees. And it just so turns out that,
All right, so this is another interesting aspect to this in terms of how Helium is talking about the future of 5G, and that we're not really seeing the full extension of what its capabilities are. If that is not necessarily the case, then a Web3 device isn't in a position where it has to catch up. In fact, it's in a position maybe where it can start setting new trends. So a lot happening there. I like that approach. And then we're going to get into a little bit about the rewards and how some other benefits play into the Saga phone itself. Listen to what they talk about here.
Jokes aside, so this is, we're launching Helium Mobile. We announced it in partnership with T-Mobile in September last year. And since then, we've gotten a tremendous amount of demand. A lot of people subscribe to our waitlist. And judging by how many people we have inbounded, we realized that we need to kind of launch in waves. We can't just say, hey, everybody subscribe, because it's the first time that we're launching wireless carrier. We're going to be kind of learning a lot of things as we go. So we're going to be launching in these waves. And the thing that we wanted to announce is that anybody that owns a Saga phone or buys a Saga phone automatically is going to be within the initial wave of our launch. Otherwise, the only way to have gotten into it is to have subscribed to the waitlist a while back. And also, everybody who gets a Saga phone will get a 1 month of 3 truly unlimited nationwide wireless on Helium Mobile.
All right, so that's a big deal. I mean, a month of free access, I mean, we haven't seen that even in the major carriers. So the fact that we'll see that moving forward, they also have the line jumping aspect. You buy a phone, you get in there, and you're in the program. So I'm still intrigued with where Helium is going with this. I've been a fan of Helium in and out. I feel like their vision has shifted a little bit in terms of their roadmap, but I think they're on the right track now based on what I'm seeing so far. Again, success is all going to be based on adoption. If we don't see enough adoption in a Web3 phone, this could go the way of Microsoft's mobile device or others, the Facebook phone. There's been many mobile devices who have tried to leap into this market. The difference that I think this particular device sets in right now is the timing in which it's tied to something that has never been connected before, and that is the financial aspect of people, meaning NFT trading, crypto trading, etc. The ability to get a device that's closer to a secure wallet and has the functionality of a full Web 2 super advanced phone like an iOS phone or even an Android phone. Now you're killing kind of 2 birds with 1 stone. So that has a lot of potential, and I think that could be the thing that doesn't make it the Facebook phone going forward. Further into this, they've got the Saga Pass, which let me kind of explain that a little bit here. Listen to what they had to say about this.
And developers have already been building. And, we're very excited to be launching the first version of the dApp store that will be shipping with Saga. And we've given developers unprecedented early access to these devices so that they can all be building these experiences to get us jump-started. So from day one, you'll be able to buy NFTs, interact with DAO communities, stake your tokens, interact with social media on the blockchain, natively mint, even mint an NFT directly from your camera. And that's just day one. We're just getting started, and many more are building. And we're excited about something else as well, and something that comes with the Solana dApp store, something that we haven't seen any other app store do. Because the Solana dApp store allows you to have this direct relationship with consumers, you can do new things, like reward them. So we're introducing the Saga Genesis token. It's an NFT that establishes that they are a Saga user. And because we can establish that relationship, we're going to give them rewards. They'll immediately get 20 USDC and a small amount of Sol to get them started on their journey. But we aren't stopping there because this is an open platform. So this is open to any dApp, and they're already taking advantage. So you can expect to see exclusive sticker packs from folks like Dialect, plus not being on getting you off a wait list, a $25 credit from Magic Eden, exclusive mints of 2,000 brand new Clanosaurs, and many more. So we're
all right, so a lot of things. They're bundling up in there, and if you look at bundling, it's been a strategy that the mobile carriers have done for quite some time. Good that they're following in those footsteps. I think that's a good move. And overall, I'd love to get your feedback. First of all, smash the like button. It helps this video get discovered. And if you're a Solana lover, you should be smashing the like button because this is a big news day for Solana. It's also a big accomplishment, I think, in Solana getting this dropped. I'd also love to get comments from you guys. Are you going to actually get one of these? And if you are, let us know that you're going to do that. I'd love to kind of get the feedback there. Most likely we're going to bring one in studio. We'll start playing with it. This may change my mind on how the future of Solana is going forward long term out there. Saga rewards, this was just a quick rundown. The Magic Eden he had mentioned, 25 USDC. Audience exclusive music for Saga users. You get the sticker pack they mentioned. Gina Pets is coming in. Honeyland has automatic, what they call Beamium upgrade, and then Helium Mobile, that's the 1 month free. So there's a nice little Web3 bundle here for the purchaser of a Solana Saga phone. So good stuff out there for sure. Wrapping up here, this is your ticket that you'll get. I think that is kind of cool, the Saga Pass. You'll be able to do that. He also mentioned something that I thought was really interesting, is being able to mint directly from your camera, which I thought was really cool. That may change the way some NFTs and art are maybe rendered in the future. If you think about 3D rendering, what we might see with render and integrations into technology of these devices going forward, very cool stuff. Holographic, 3D, who knows where this would go. Value is already playing out here on Magic Eden, so the pass itself, these guys are already trading. You can get these right now for around almost 2 to 3 SOL. So very interesting stuff. You know, the thing here with mobile is this, and really the next mobile web is when we see the evolution, because really the growth of the web that has happened over the past 5 years has happened because of mobile devices. This is a thing that we talk about all the time. The more mobile integration that you become, the more discoverability, the more opportunity that it's going to create. Websites, I think, are slowly going away. And I've said this for many years, is that I feel like the .com is dead, and that this decentralized model of media and consumption and content and integrations is here. We'll see if it plays out. But if these devices start to populate the land and we get enough critical mass, this could very well change the way we think of a mobile device in the future. So we're going to continue to follow it and go deep on Solana, take a look a little bit deeper on what the Saga phone looks and feels like with getting one of these in the studio, and hopefully get a chance to actually do some testing with it and really find out if it's all of what they're claiming it is going in the future. Again, if you guys are not part of the Diamond Circle, jump in. It's very simple. It's easy to join. Just click the link down below. It gets you into our Diamond Circle, which is delivered over on our Substack. And it's also where we drop a lot of additional content, all cool things that you can find right there, only because you are a Diamond Circle member. If you guys want to reach me, it's simple. Get me out there on Twitter, @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechPath.